Well, g'day guys. This is our very first official Shopley Influencer Pro Basecamp call. So this is our very first team call. So guys, these are an interactive call. I get that some of you are here tuning in, you're driving or you're working in the background and, all of that sort of jazz. But that's cool. We can still, still make this work. We just need to get a little bit creative. So use the chat there. If you can't unmute yourself or bring on camera for whatever reason, use the chat there to engage with us as much as possible to be interactive. So I'll go around the room. We'll set the framework for this and these future calls. But like guys, we've got loads of calls coming out of our ears. Aaron's got his opportunity calls and his team training calls for the team influence and all that sort of thing. Same as Travis. And so these calls are different. I want to make sure that there's something for everybody wherever you need to be on this space, on this journey, right? But with these calls, I've been a part of these launches in the past, and it can be very overwhelming if you try to get on every single call, right? So, you need to get onto the calls that serve you best. Take from this fire hose, from the information that's coming at you, what serves you, right? We've got some amazing trainers here. We've got some amazing resources and some amazing leaders in this team. I'd go far as saying that in the entire global Shopley community, Aaron Byerly's team with Travis, myself, and a couple of other really key trainers here, Amanda McCloy being one of them. Guys, we've got probably one of the most robust, sort of awesome building teams here. Because we've got everything from coaches to network marketers to affiliate marketers to vendors. We've got the full scope and the full breadth of that resource that we can all leverage. I've hosted quite a few of these Basecamp calls for my Dream Trips team over the last couple of years, and I found this more intimate, more sort of closer knit, sort of more community connected calls to be very, very successful. And so these Basecamp calls, what are they? Well, they're like a group mastermind style coaching call is probably the best thing I can describe it. This is an opportunity for us to really, do three things: build connection, which essentially is build community, come to this place to get clarity and get strategies so you can get unstuck and keep moving forward. And it's a space where we can, do that life, do celebration, do challenges together. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. We'll get Sarah onto one of these calls as well because she's going to help me, manage this team. So, guys, for those of you who are in the background and can't engage with your cameras turned on or unmute, please, I'll premise the conversation here. So these Basecamp calls, like as I said, been saying in the chats, we go through what we call the 3 Cs, and we'll go around the room. I've got Emma to the left of me, Sharon to the right, and the thorn stuck in the middle of two roses, and we'll go through the room. So we're going to go through what we call the 3 Cs. So what is your biggest celebration? What is your win? For the week, right? We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. So what's your win? What's your celebration? And inside of that, what were the key lessons that you experienced in that win? Because this is where we get to learn from each other and we get to lock arms with each other by sharing our lessons from those wins, right? The second C is, what is the biggest challenge? The biggest roadblock, the biggest confusion point, the thing that's keeping you stuck, that's stopping you from getting out of Sucksville and helping you to get to Awesometown. My job as a coach and a mentor and a leader is to be able to empower you, to equip you, to be able to, help get out of your, basically run without me. But I realize that some of us need some hand holding in that process because that's what I needed. I totally sucked at this game when I first started, but my mentor, Kylie, she held my hand on a daily basis almost, step by step by step until I no longer needed her, till I was up and running on my own 2 feet. So that's, the purpose of this call as well. And we do it in a group context because we can all learn and bounce off each other. We can all support each other. I don't know everything, and we've got some amazing leaders already in this group. We got Chandler and Josh, and, everybody here is a leader in their own right. We're all, even if you're only leading a small team or nobody, you're still leading somebody. You're always somebody's guide. And then that third C, that's more of where the action plan comes together. That's what we call our conquer plan. So you'll get given your action steps to take for each week. Now, I understand most of the questions that people are coming out to me, individual chats is Jeff, how do I leverage this invite system? What's next? How do we take advantage of the invite system, this the extra 5 day extension? How do we follow up with people? So I'm going to do some training inside that as well towards the end. And I'll go through my step by step inviting process. Guys, reiterate, please don't use the curse of comparison. I've been full-time network marketing, basically living and breathing this life for the last 3 years. I've been a digital marketer for the last 16 years. And just intentionally in the last 3 years, my number one goal is to build my community, is to build my influence, is to build relationships and connections with my people. So when we do have a launch like Shopley going in, I can put that message out in front of the right people, and we can have 86 people, or 87 now, who have joined in the last 3 weeks through that invite process. Out of that 87, I've personally upgraded to 17. I've got 6 other follow-ups in the process with that, but that hasn't come overnight. So like, don't go, comparing your numbers, your story to my journey. The only difference between you and I, or me and Aaron, is how far down the path we are. He's got 27 years experience in full-time network marketing. I've only got 3 as a full-time network marketer. I come into this as a digital marketer. This is the beauty of my own story, is a lot of network marketers get into this space for the opportunity on the product and go, oh crap, now I need to learn how to do this thing called marketing. Now I need to learn how to do this thing called entrepreneurialism, business. See, where I've been in that space now for 15 years prior, do the math. My math is hopeless. I'm dyslexic. I can't spell for crap. I dropped out at school year 9. But you understand my meaning, right? And I've just learned how to leverage things like AI. So we will do some specific AI training in this space, in this little group as well. And but these are just these Basecamp calls. We're going to do them every week. Now, going through that poll and seeming to to find a time, it's like you're never going to find a time that's going to suit everybody. It's like trying to herd cats. I reckon herding cats would probably be easier. But going off the majority for right now, I can always pivot and adjust 3, 6, 12 months down the road. But for right now, we're going to do these weekly Basecamp calls on a Friday morning, 10 a.m. Sydney time every week. And I understand that a few of you from Australia have asked to do it later in the evening. Look, as the group grows and as the demand grows for that, we'll explore that option. But for right now, we've got an international team here, and we've got quite a few people in the USA in our team. And 10 a.m. Australian Sydney time is the sweet spot to serve both communities in that space. Now, I understand that we've got people in South Africa and Europe and all of that sort of thing on the peripheral too. Look, guys, those of you who can't make a live group call, don't let that be the handbrake. Reach out to me personally, reach out to your upline personally, and ask for help. This is what I had to do with my mentors over the time. Your mentors aren't mind readers. Your upline's not a mind reader. So, like, it's the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Sometimes we need to be the squeaky wheel, right? So, up until this point, my capacity allows for you to individually to reach out to me personally if that's what you need. Come to these boot group calls, come to the replays, get what you need from the systems and the resources that we have set up. But if you're still stuck, I beg you, I beg you, I beg you, reach out, connect with me, connect with your upline, ask for that support, ask for that help. One of the number one strengths, strengths and weaknesses, and I would say it's probably a big weakness is as leaders, we don't want to feel like we're being annoying. We don't want to feel like we're pestering. We don't want to feel like, we're the squeaky wheel. I get it. I've been there several times myself. But I know, those of us who ask for help, humble ourselves, get out of our own way and ask for help. Every time I've asked for help, you know what the other person said to me? Yeah, sure, Jeff. How could I help? It's not piss off, Jeff. You're annoying me. you know, so ask for that help. Yes, there are loads of resources from a group context, but I totally understand that you're not just a number here in this community. You are your name. You've got Emma, we've got Sharon, we've got Joanne, we've got Janet. And yes, Janet, I did say your name correctly, hopefully that time around. Thank you for the correction. We've got Nicole, we've got Joanne, we've got Zach, we've got Julia. I'm not sure who iPhone is, but I like to put a name to it if I can. Whose iPhone? We got Craig, we got Chandler. And and I understand that this team's much, much bigger than just those of us who are on this call. So if you're watching it live here with us, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to come in and join with us live. If you're watching the replay, use the team chat to engage. Like, don't just, be a fly on the wall. I get that we've all got our different styles of learning. We've all got our different personality profile types and whatnot. And we'll do some training into that as well, because I really believe that's a powerful tool. But today, I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to connect and go through the 3 C's. I'm going to ask you to share one more question on top of that, just to help lay us the foundation. And just your quick introduction, 30 seconds or less, and why are you most excited about Shopley? Like, why did you upgrade? What's in it for you? And Sharon, look, we'll kick off with you if that's okay. So,
Not
quick,
really.
quick, quick introduction. 30 seconds or less. Why are you most excited about Shopley? And I suppose, what are your first 2 C's? What are the celebration, and what's the biggest challenge? And then we'll go through the room and we'll go through everybody else as well.
Well, I don't know. I've only just sort of started paying attention to it, so I haven't really looked into it much at all.
Okay.
So,
Well, cool. Well, let's go for introduction first. So who is
oh,
Sharon?
yeah, I'm Sharon, and yeah, my upline told me about this, so then I come on board, and I end up taking the risk and going all in and going to the top one. And then I've also looking at the vendor, because I've got a picture-based cookbook for people
Nice.
with learning disabilities, and they come with color-coded measuring cups.
Oh, wow. That sounds really awesome. I'll have to maybe get that as myself. So that's exciting. Well, definitely Shopley is a really awesome platform for yourself. So I get that you've just joined, and that's probably, your biggest celebration right now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah.
what is the biggest confusion point for you right now personally? What's holding you back?
Understanding it, and then obviously trying to work out how to get people to come on board,
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
because I haven't really been into the networking side. I've been basically trying to promote my book. So with the
Yeah.
networking side of stuff, I'm not very confident with that at this stage.
Okay. Well, this is probably the number one thing that I love about Shopley is it's got something for everybody. Like, if you're not a networker and you're only just learning out how to do that, and you're more interested in just the e-commerce side of things, great, you're in the right
I,
place. Sorry?
I must probably do both.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to do both as you go, well, then you're in the right place as well. So, the probably the one of the unique selling points that I could use, for example, to sell myself as a leader is my robust, background with, how to make money online. With be e-commerce, whether it be service-based business, I've been there, done just about everything in this space. And so network marketing is definitely a challenging beast in itself, but it's a skill. It's a space where if you get the right training, the right support, you can master it with anything. So Sharon, very, very excited to, have you on board. Looking forward to seeing your product on Shopley. I'm sure all of us, that's a product that we can get behind and promote to our communities. I'm really looking forward to that. And as far as, learning more about this awesome product that we have, my recommendation is go to the let me just share my screen with you all. Is go to the tools where, like, one of my just saying, don't be a tool, use the tools, right? Because it's very easy to get caught up in having to think you need to learn everything. The great thing is about what I love about Shopley from a corporate point of view is these guys get digital marketing. They get network marketing, and they get that we need tools and resources to help us get out of our own way. Really what you need to learn from a network marketing point of view is just learning how to ask the right questions and build relationships and point people to the right tools. So Shopley Partners, youtube.com/Shopley Partners is going to become one of your number one resources to grab those tools to share with people. If you come up here and you go to playlist, you'll see here you've got strategy sessions, news and updates. You've got, explainer videos, incentive videos. invite training videos, just about, establish shop, the culture, the vision, just about nearly every resource or tool that you need to be able to share with people to explain what it's all about. Now, for you, Sharon, I highly recommend you go to Shopley Partners, YouTube channel and go get a couple of those upgrade videos and watch them, right? To become a product of the product, we need to understand what it is we're promoting to people. But at the same time, I found when I started to over explain things to people, when I started to over answer questions to people, I lost them. If I could just simplify the duplication process, which is asking the right questions, which we'll go through in this invite training later, and basically point people to the resources, point people to the tools, it does two things. It helps me get out of the way. So I no longer have to feel like I'm selling. I'm just asking questions. I'm just following up with people, right? This whole thing about people saying, I don't like sales. Well, that's what they're really saying underlying is they don't like manipulating people. And guess what? I hate manipulating people too, right? But I love to empower. I love to equip people to be able to help them to, live their best life. And so when you flip sales to a point of view that all you're doing here is to serve and help people, support them, and point them to the right tool, and then you just ask the right questions, essentially you're getting yourself out of the way. And the other thing too is people then start to see, hey, that's simple. I'd see what Sharon did. All she did was, ask this question, point me to the tool. Ask this question, point me to the tool. Hey, I can do that. See, people start to see themselves in your systems, right? And this is why a three-way call works really, really well too. Now, please, 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 I love three-way calls, but only send me to a three-way call if the person's already qualified, meaning they've already seen the video. They're already starting to ask a heap of questions. Like Janet was a perfect example of this. Janet put me through the paces. I love questions because questions show me that people are curious, that they're genuinely interested, and they're just looking for the logical way to make sense for themselves, right? So it's our job to answer questions. Now, if you don't know the answers, then that's when you bring in your upline or you bring them to me and I will do the heavy lifting for you. But once again, that's very powerful for the duplication point of view, is because people can see the simplicity of all Sharon would had to do was introduce me to Jeff, and I could do that. So even me, like my biggest weakness and my biggest strength is at the moment is I know all the information. My biggest weakness is I know all the information. I feel like I could do it on myself instead of getting someone like Aaron or Travis into the conversation, or even Chandler into the conversation. Chandler's pretty proficient in this as well. Like this guy is the due diligence king. Like you don't have to go up to do a three-way call. You can go down or side by side, just as long as the person you're introducing him knows the answers. Right. So we'll do some really specific training on three-way calls and all that sort of thing. But Sharon, my biggest advice for you, champion, to get some clarity around this is go educate yourself on those videos. Go watch the first few latest upgrade videos and just become a student. Become a sponge and just take in what you need to be able to help you to run, because a confused mind will never take any action. But boy, oh boy, when you've got that clarity, and when the light bulb goes on, that's when we get fuel on the fire and that's when we run. Right. Does that help, Sharon?
Yep, it certainly does. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for saying yes. And guys, I'm dyslexic, so I run 100 mile. I've also got ADHD on top of that, so I do run 100 mile an hour. Unless I've got my notes in front of me, I don't know who's been invited to who. So Sharon, who invited you into this group?
Jade.
Beautiful. All right. Well, Jade, you rock, champion. And Jade's actually my right-hand woman. She's one of my VAs for the Laptop Lifestyle Dads community. So cool. So she's busy in the background building funnels for me. That's why she's not on this call today. But thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Emma. Emma, how are you? So quick introduction, 30 seconds or less. What got you most excited about Shopley? And I suppose, what are your 2 C's? What's your celebration and what's your biggest challenge? And whilst Emma's learning how to unmute herself.
No, sorry, my
Chandler will
earphone
get you to
just
go
died.
next.
My earphone just died. I couldn't hear anything.
No, all good. So Emma, your turn. So just the 30-second introduction. What are you most excited about when it comes to Shopley and your 2 C's? Like, what is your biggest win, your celebration, And what is your biggest challenge, the biggest thing that's stopping you from moving forward?
Okay, well, my name's Emma. I'm in Sydney and I've been in network marketing for 6 years, and I'm actually a teacher by trade. So the thing that interested me about Shopley was the fact that it's just so very different from anything that I've actually done, and the potential and the fact that we are fortunate to have a timestamp that is just, in my opinion, so amazing. So that's what's interested me. It is completely out of my comfort zone, but obviously I've in and said yes and decided to go on the ride and see what happens. So
Love
great.
it.
So
Love
that's
it.
my celebration. I kind of got out of my own way and just pressed go on it. And also one of my biggest celebrations is the fact that I'm in this with Janet, because Janet is just amazing and actually asked so many questions as well, which was just fantastic. And we've been talking about doing something together for a while. And I have just an amazing feeling about this. So Janet, I'm happy to be joining with you on this. So that's good.
Love it.
Um,
Makes my heart sing when I see that happening.
Yeah, my challenge though is, I guess, knowing how to invite, because I got sent the invite, Jade sent me the invite, and I just blanket sent it out, copy and paste to as many people as I thought that were anti-establishment, basically.
I love it, Teddy.
And
Unplug from the matrix.
well, yeah, and I didn't know anything about it because, and my line was, it's free, just go for it, let's just get in. So now I'm starting maybe to overthink a little bit about who do I send it to, what do I send, and now I'm being asked questions,
Cool.
quite direct questions that I'm not necessarily confident, because I just was like,
Yeah. You've only just joined, right? So you're not equipped to handle the questions. Totally get it.
So the
Right.
process to invite, obviously you talked about three-way calls there, and I feel fortunate that you are available for those currently, which is great.
Yeah.
But the inviting process, that would be my
Yeah, cool. And this is just on the three-way calls. Yes, I'm available. I've got capacity for three-way calls left, right, and center, but that will obviously diminish, as the team grows. So my job as a leader here is to empower, other leaders to step up and duplicate that process, so they're not relying on me to do all the three-way calls, right? Otherwise, I can't do it. So this is where we start to get layered leadership going through. That takes time to develop. So I totally get it, right? So with the invite training, cool, strap in. We'll go through that as well in a second towards the end. And guys, one thing I'll just pick up what Emma just said there is, feel like she needs to answer all the questions, all of that sort of thing, yada yada yada, and now starting to get hung up on the result, right? And so I'm guilty of doing it myself. We all are. We're all emotional creatures. I've had to learn, and Chandler's heard me say this 1,000 times now, how to learn how to be responsible to, not responsible for, right? The other saying and the other mantra is I'll put into this is we all need to fall in love with the process, not the results. Okay, so if you get hung up on the results every day, you're going to get deflated and disheartened very, very quickly in this journey. I've seen that's probably one of the biggest cancerous attitudes, or the not even an attitude, like it's part of the journey, right? It's part of the growth journey. I totally get it. I used to be the same, but it's one of the biggest things that can be a deflator in this space. Is we get we focus on the results. We don't get them. We get disheartened. We get disheartened. We get disheartened. We get disheartened. But like you got to think of yourself as a farmer. Our job here as a farmer is to go and scatter seed far and wide. So the farmer has no idea what seeds are going to flourish, right? What seeds are going to be tackled by the weeds? What seeds going to fall on the hard rock? What seeds, needs nurturing and going to grow, blossom? No, the farmer has no idea. But the farmer's responsibility, nonetheless, is to scatter seeds. Without those seeds, we don't have a harvest at the end of the day. So our job here is to go be seed planters, and then you continue to nurture, And those ones who take off, like everybody here, you're a seed that's taken off and blossoming. You know, you're in the right place. For those ones who do, we follow through with them, we help them, we support them, we empower them, we equip them. Those who don't, so what? So what? Move on next, right? So it's falling in love with the process, not the results. Okay, so we'll go through the invite training at the wrap up the end too. But thanks, Emma.
Thanks.
Chandler, over to you, champion. Quick introduction, mate. 30 seconds or less. What are you most excited about when it comes to Shopley, and what are your 2Cs?
So my name is Chandler Tullis. I am in Dallas, Texas. I am very fortunate to be about 45 minutes away from Shopley and Liqueur Enterprises and Liqueur Nutraceuticals. So it's a blessing to be able to be so close to a billionaire owner and some incredible executives. I'm very blessed to have a good relationship with you, Jeff, and by default, guys like Aaron Byerly and Patrick Flaherty, or Travis Flaherty, excuse me. And even Ron Williams, the chief visionary officer, and Nick Sarnicola, the president. It's just a group full of all-stars. And, I think it's a huge idea. What Terry LaCour is wanting to pull off. You often use you and others, Jeff, often use the joke about it's Amazon and TikTok and Amway, etc. Apple have a baby. That's a mouthful, and that's a lot to pull off and to cross T's and dot I's. So I'm anxious for how big the journey is and the possibilities of what can be globally, to be a disruptor in the decentralized e-commerce world. My biggest concern is just that I've got a wife and 4 kids, 17 and under. I've got a lot of projects on my plate, and I need to monetize them as quickly as possible. But very excited that it was able to upgrade to Influencer Pro, ready for the next step in the journey of what Shopley is going to be. And I'm a business development guy, so I'm very much looking forward to bringing in vendors of all sorts and sizes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So 2 things there, Chandler. We've spoken about it, individually, but we'll spoke about it here collectively for the group as well. Is that look, where I totally believe in multiple streams of income, totally believe in representing, multiple products and multiple brands. The key to that is personal branding, and that's not an overnight success story. Like that's going to be something that needs to be developed, but it can be developed very, very quickly with the right coaching, with the right guidance. And once again, we'll do some specific training and set up in that space as well. That's one of the reasons why I love Shopley personally, is because it's not going to limit us to, just one product in one vertical. It's not going to limit to just to one vertical income stream like most network marketing companies do. This really is like so timely, because the marketplace has shifted in a big, big way in the network marketing game. And people are sick to death of having to only represent one company, one product line, that type of thing. The other thing too is with the nature of our business, COVID taught us all a big, valuable lesson. We can't have all our eggs in one basket. I lost my full service digital marketing agency overnight because I did have all my eggs in one basket. And, I came out of COVID saying to myself that whatever I do in the future needs to be multiple streams of income. So I'm not reliant on totally one. One leg falls over, that's cool. I've still got 3 other legs that are rocking and rolling. So, a table has 4 legs for a reason, right? So I'm looking at very strategically how to place this. And, I'm putting Shopley as one of my products out in the front end. But, as Chandler knows, I represent a fuel saving product. I represent a travel club. They're all conversations that I have on the back end of things. So it's getting very clear on what your pipeline looks like. Guys, to toot my horn for if nobody else toots it, I'll toot it for myself. I'm probably one of the best in the world in sorting out automated pipelines. I've been mentored by the best in the world. So that's why I can say I'm one of the best. Been doing that space for the last 16, 17 years. And so really excited to help people develop that side of the business. Just know it's not going to happen overnight. You know, that's a 3, 6, 9 month conversation. But yeah, got you back there, Chandler. Very excited to work with you, man. And man, I know we're going to rock and roll with this. So
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Let's go to Joanne. So Joanne, how are you today? Yeah. So you'll need to unmute yourself. Now, guys, I understand. Joanne, you're a little bit deaf, aren't you? So Joanne needs captions, and so we've got everybody, you know, with all sorts of walks and forms of life. I love that. And so yeah, just let you know, Joanne. So if you could just share a little bit about your story, a little bit about, you know, why you're most excited about Shopley, and you know, your celebration and what's your biggest challenge right now.
Yes, thank you very much, Jeff. Hi, everyone. My name's Jo. I am touching 60. That's a bit scary. Yes, so I am profoundly deaf. My left ear is just there for decoration only, and I have lost over 95% hearing in my right ear. So that's the reason why I do need closed captions. And thank you very much, Jeff, for helping to implement that for me. I really do appreciate that. Now for Shopley, I've just been following it for a little while and thought, yeah, this could be something quite good. And the more I looked into it, the more I thought, yes, I'm definitely going to go pro. So I have. Yes, so I'm pretty excited about inviting some vendors to come on board. So I do have some people up my sleeve that I could speak
Very excited.
with. Yeah, so and as for my challenges, I've sent out a few invites, but people are not receiving them. So I'm not too sure if I'm doing them correctly. Have I missed a step? So that's something that I know you're going to touch base on a bit later. So yes.
Cool. Well, first off, congratulations for saying yes and upgrading. And the other thing too that I want to acknowledge is well done on having a go. You know, I'd rather see ignorance on fire versus knowledge on ice any day of the week. So well done, and you know, having to go, right? Because that's what it takes. You know, it takes that burning desire to succeed. It takes that hunger to learn how to do more. And then it just takes the right guidance and right mentoring. So you've got all of the right elements, all of you do, to be able to really crush this. So thank you, Joanne, for joining us and saying yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So Julia is obviously in the background there. G'day, Julia. So Julia says a celebration, and we'll get Julia to do an introduction another time, but Julia says celebration is being a bit more consistent and listening more. Oh, she's there. Where you go?
Working, so
all good. If you can unmute yourself and interact, well, even better.
So I've got dog hair everywhere. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, so my journey quickly was I was started about 2 years ago doing drop shipping, same as a few people. I lost my job, my income from COVID. So I had my eggs sort of in one basket, but thankfully I had the dog grooming business on the side. So I've been able to do that, but just been trying to do online stuff since. Yeah, so the drop shipping I tried, my account got restricted and just haven't had much luck. Then jumped into a bit of network marketing. And my upline person from this is Sue Frost, and she's sort of on the same page with me with contacting people and stuff, struggling with that sort of end of things. So when we talked about Shopley, we said it's amazing that, yeah, there's just so many different avenues and things that you can do in it. So like the vendor side of thing, the compensation plan and all that. So yeah, that's what excites me the most about it. But yeah, I'm like most people struggling with the conversations and getting people on board. So yeah. That's...
Right, well, we'll shift gears and we'll get into some training around that in a second. But welcome, Julia. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you very much for taking the time out from your busy dog grooming days.
Thanks. All right.
Appreciate you. I hear a lot of conversations starting to come up around people wanting to really tap in and leverage the business development side of things with bringing on other vendors. Guys, that's one of the most things that I'm going to be personally bringing on too. I'm going to niche down and really look for other digital creators, other course creators, personally. And that's, I've already started to post out there. So, you know, starting conversations. Look, the invitation process is exactly the same. It's just the conversations, the questions that we ask are a bit slightly different. So we'll dig into that in a second, but I'm going to come up with essentially a script that you could use, not word for word, but just to give you a guidance for prospecting for influencers, one for prospecting affiliates, and one for reaching out to vendors as well. Just know, guys, I love systems. I'm all about, how can we run faster? But you just got to give me time and patience and grace to be able to develop this systems. We're so early into this, and that's a good thing because you guys get to pioneer this with me and help me tweak it and adjust it to get it right, to help to suit you. So we'll do this together, because we can do it together. We can do much further, right? So Janet, I'd love to bring you out, introduce yourself quickly, 30 seconds or less. What are you most excited about, and what are your 2 C's?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Janet. I'm in Sydney, and I am a life coach and quantum coach. And what that essentially means is that I help people use universal energy to create change in their lives. And I'm also in the digital marketing space, online marketing, all of that. So what attracted me to Shopley was I'm one of Emma's anti-establishment friends, I guess, and the word was decentralized, and I was like, okay, I want to listen. So that is what attracted me, and I guess it solved a problem in the sense that as a part of my business, there are a number of products that I want to promote that either don't have affiliate programs or all sorts of things like that. So selfishly, I want to bring on those people so that I can promote their products. And I guess, just once I dove a little bit further into what this actually is and actually offers, I've just kind of been really excited from that point, I guess. So obviously I don't have any skills in the development, the business development side of things, but I guess I've had high level discussions before. So, I've got a quality and safety management background in the healthcare system. So I know,
Awesome.
like I've got skills to bring to the table.
Yeah.
The celebrations that I'm having, I guess, is that I'm here at all. Really grateful for all the questions that I was able to fire across your desk, Jeff, because yes, there have been many. Challenge. So the big challenge for me is that this opportunity comes at a very awkward time. I'm just in the process of launching a course and growing my coaching business. That's my big focus. And so time is my biggest roadblock.
Yep. And I get
yet
that.
I'm here. So obviously, I am passionate about this space. Again, I'm promoting on the decentralized word. And I'm connected with lots of people who like that word. Anyway, so we'll just
it's a very powerful word right now. It's a very catchy word. And as a marketer, it's we look at words like that to be able to pattern interrupts, pick up people's attention. And it is one of those attention grabbers. Around the whole time commitment, I totally understand that you're under pump with other pressures and commitments. Thank you very much for taking your time out today to be here. Look, I'm pretty busy myself. I have an online church. I'm also a coach, that I'm launching a new product. My wife and I just closed down our massage business to give us more capacity for other things that were more important for us. Totally get it all. The thing is we all have 24 hours of the day. It's what we prioritize. And I'm so grateful that you're prioritizing this today, because I look at things that how can they overlap? How can one
100%.
thing support the next thing and the next thing? And that was the only reason that I jumped into Shopley too, because I was hard no on this 20 times, and it's like, I almost turned it away. Like, could you imagine, if I wasn't open to exploring it? And it's like now, but it's just, I see Shopley as almost like not another project, but the glue that pulls everything together.
Yeah.
And so it's just the way that we need to prioritize it and how we strategically place it in our day to day.
Yeah, 100%. And you've captured that really well in terms of my situation as well. And this will be something that kind of brings it all together and And I believe I'll be able to help support other people have that as well, which is really
and
nice.
I see your journey and your capacity very similar to my own right now.
Mm.
And another thing that I just really highlighted for me too is, guys, we have some powerful other traders here, other genius zone expertise, like what you could teach in the energy space, Janet, like it just goes probably way over my head. And, so we can leverage this and we can support each other as a community. We've got Amanda McCloy, who's another excellent, trainer in the network marketing space. So as these calls grow, we'll have like, spotlight training sessions. Janet, you'll be able to come out and deliver your stuff. Joe, you'll be able to come out and do yours. So it won't just always be about the Jeff Ross show. It will be that real community collaborative. And that's what I'm all about is how can we create that collaborative project together to support our other things that we're doing in the background as well.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
yeah. Happy to be involved in things like that for sure. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So Joe, I see that you're on top of, you're on camera. Let's bring you on out and anybody else who's sitting in the background. Like you don't have to come out and share, like you can share in the chat, let me know. But unless I see your camera or a hand up or a message to say that you want to come out and chat after Joe, we're going to shift gears and we're going to go into some training. So just want to make sure that, I totally get it that you might be just a fly on the wall at the moment. You're in the background. There's no pressure to come out and share. But yeah, just give me a signal of either turn your camera on, unmute yourself or send me a direct message, whatever it is, so I could bring you out and I know that you want to share. So Joe, over to you, champion.
Hello.
30-second introduction. What are you most excited about? And so what is your win and your challenge?
Okay. Most excited, being brand new, startup, all the rest of it. I leaped and then worked it out.
Love it.
And I think that was my frustration, that people aren't like watching stuff or, just getting on board and working it out as they go.
Why aren't you like me?
Yeah, exactly. Just watch the damn video. I was excited because I have been an affiliate with other programs before, and I was looking for something for my programs to be an affiliate. My partner's had online stores and he's always had some sort of frustration with it. So I can see the things that he's had frustration with that Shopley's touched on that aren't going to be an issue, hopefully. Helping others, there's something for everyone. I love the model. And I've been in the network marketing space for 20 years with one company and 4 with another. So I love this space. And now that was 20 years not online. So I love, connecting with different people all over the world. My win is I became a beta vendor last night.
Woohoo!
I literally did a happy dance in the kitchen and didn't want dinner because I was too excited and I just wanted to open the Google document. So super excited about that. I've got one Influencer Pro, maybe another one coming on board. So that's another awesome thing. And then they've gone on and shared. And I see Joanne is on the call. What a great name you have. My thorn obviously was getting my card through, but, one hurdle.
Yeah.
And the other thorn was, I guess, people not sharing the vision, but they're allowed to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to speak to that. So Joanne's one of the ones who have had a real technical challenge with the banking. And so one of the reasons why we have a 7-day extension, and I'm grateful for that for 2 reasons. It's allowed to make sure that people like Joanne aren't getting left behind. We're not leaving anybody behind. We're doing absolute best. And I know in Joe's case and in also Miraboo's case as the other person in our team, both have been escalated right to the top with Rod Larson, the CEO. So, we've got everybody's back here in this space and we're doing our absolute best to make sure that we get through the technical glitches. This is the joy and the frustration of pioneering. It's the joy of that we get to, be one of the first and support this space. But it's very much like Aaron said in his last call there, we're the guys with the machete going through the jungle, carving the pathway out. And it takes grit. It takes a crazy person. It takes determination. It takes tenacity. It takes courage to be that person. And Joe, I just want to, single you out for a second, is you have shown all of those attributes and more. I love how you've handled this space with so much grace and patience. I know in the background we've had our little meltdowns and
I
frustrations
lost it
and all
this
that,
morning.
but at the
I'm here
same
now.
time, you are a leader. You understand this space, and it almost takes that knowing that it helps you to push through this shit, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's that story at the other end, I think.
Yeah.
Like you've just said, I didn't know you said no 20 times. I guess in all the stuff that's gone on, I can go, hang on a minute, this is just another hurdle if something comes up. So it's also been good to connect with you more, connect with Aaron, connect with Travis.
Yeah, it's right. Like things don't happen to us, right? They happen for us.
Yeah. So I feel like the
just because
connection's there.
Your name is up the top with Rod Larson. Like, how cool's that?
That's pretty awesome.
So there's always a silver lining. We're just going to look for it. But I thank you for your patience and your grace with working with me and not against me on this. Like, because some people, well, let's face it, probably 75% of the population would have just put it in the too hard basket and moved on.
Yeah. And I got to say, I was nodding on the way home when you said about asking for help and asking questions, because I did initially go, oh, he doesn't want to hear from me again.
Yeah.
But I know everyone's wanted to help me with this. So it's like just a short, quick voice, and you'll get back when you can. So that's been awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Joe. Very excited to be working with each and every one of you. And thanks for sharing. So, Craig, I can see your hand up. We'll go to Zach first, or you need to go now, Craig, because you pulled up on the side of the road. What works best for you, mate? Let's go, Craig. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, I'm on the side of the road.
I can see you both driving, so I don't know who's got priority, but that's cool. Craig, mic's over to you, mate.
All right, thanks for that. 30-second intro. All right, so I'm a career by trade, as you can see. I'm also a digital course creator, like a transformational educator. I help professional men basically overcome resilience. I've been working on my own programs for the last 4 years, and it's basically go time. Finally. Shopley was passed across my nose recently, and I just got it thing, and basically well over 10 years now with the Amway model. I still use Amway. It's the only health product that I don't have a negative reaction to for my health reasons. And I looked at this idea as a tack on for my program, for my referral. So I'm looking for a system that can automate everything. That I just plug and play, don't have to worry about stress, trying to work out the referral. Being a one-man band, I don't have a budget team as of yet. Despite people trying to sell me shit all the time, I just don't have the money for it. So I look for the system to do the math, and also an opportunity for those to become leaders within their own right, like their own legacy organisation. With no set structure.
Awesome. Well, man, I know that we've been working pretty closely with one-on-one coaching now for the last 4 months or so with the ChatGPT stuff. But man, absolutely pleasure to be locking arms and building this with you long term. And very excited to get your men's coaching program on the platform as well, and start to plug that to our community, because I think it's what you do in that space is sorely needed, especially for us men.
Well, I've just recently gone through another license upgrade, so I've got a lot of mental wellness stuff coming out. I've got an app coming out in a couple of months. I'll just head down after I stop for 80 or the other.
Brilliant. Love it. And I know from one coach to another, Janet and Craig, you guys should connect so you can support each other. So cool. All right, guys. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate you. And Zach, let's bring on you, our USA expat that's living in Thailand that I got to meet personally the other day. Pretty cool.
Super cool. Hi, everyone. So I'm excited just about the possibility of helping other people with this, because it's such a great opportunity for us, obviously, but for everyone else. Me going through Facebook and my friends are posting like, oh, I need more vacation. Oh, I need more money. Oh, I'm so miserable. Then you reach out to them and hey, I have an opportunity, but then they shut you down right away. But but the possibility is there for them. And when they do see it and it clicks with them, that's the most amazing feeling. So that's what I'm excited. So my celebration, I have 2 influencer pros. That's pretty great. I have a couple that are in the woodwork, so hopefully they'll convert soon. And then challenges are, I mean, it's the inviting process. I think that's the most challenging thing. I had the most success with sending like the pitch slap. Like, I have this new decentralized thing, blah blah blah. Check it out, and I got a lot of blank stares on it, but I have 12 people who said yes to the free invite from that.
Yep.
On the other hand, I've been going through trying to go the invite script of, kind of connecting with them and everything else. And the moment I mention like open up another opportunity, then they go silent on me, which is okay, obviously, but it takes a lot longer to get to that silence than it did throwing the invite out there almost immediately. So I'm kind of struggling with if I should go back to that or kind of tweak that a little bit more with the pitch slap method to get more people on board more quickly and be able to qualify them more quickly, versus the slow process, right?
Cool. So just some coaching there, Zach. Let's lose the term pitch slap. I don't like it. It just sounds very aggressive. So let's just get rid of that out of our vocabulary. However, let's reframe it, right? So it's an open invitation, and so you could either got a direct open invitation or more of a softer one that's building rapport and building a relationship, right? So let's just take the word pitch and link spam and all of that sort of stuff out of our vocabulary, and let's go to the whole qualify versus invite, right? This is probably one of the biggest things that sort of one of the things I stand against, one of my pet peeves. And one of the reasons why I started doing what I'm doing as a coaching in this space, to teach and equip and empower people how not to do the direct pitch, how not to do link spam. Because I've had I was like you, Zach. I used to do it as well. And what it comes across as best way I can describe it is it's like a puppy dog trying to jump up and hump your leg. It's overexcited. It's a little bit too in your face, and people run away. When I've had to learn how to slow it down and build relationship, it works a lot better. Here's the thing though, Zach, is all of those people that you've used with like the rapport building tactic that we've shared, is just because they're a no or they're a silence right now, it doesn't mean that they're not a yes 3 months, 6 months down the road, right? So this is why I keep saying fall in love with the process, keep planting seeds, be a seed planter. And then as you grow that community, as you grow your influence, all marketing is putting the right product in front of the right people at the right time. The best way to follow up with people and stay connected with them is your story, is your post, is those curiosity style posting that you share, right? Our marketing needs to be designed to start the conversation or re-engage the conversation. So I'll follow up with people pretty relentlessly, especially in a promo like a launch like we've got right now, to the point that so some people block me and unfriend me. Well, that's cool. That's on them, right? Responsible to, not responsible for. Those who get it, understand it's just part of the game, understand that it's just part of timing for them, and they'll re-engage. If they don't re-engage through my direct messaging, they'll re-engage through a post that speaks directly to their heart. So this is why I say start with the rapport building exercise of relating and resonating with people right from day one. The number one asset that we can ever build in this community is this. Everybody hates to be sold to, but guess what? We all love to buy. And what are we buying? We're buying outcomes and solutions to benefit our lives. Chandler is a great example here. Like both Chandler and I have gone back and forth with other opportunities probably for the last 12 or 18 months, and it just wasn't the right product. It wasn't the right opportunity. It wasn't the right timing. It wasn't the right fit. But yet Chandler and I stayed in touch because one business development guy to another understand and respect the relationship, the synergy that we both have. That's always the first and most precious asset that you'll ever have in this game. And so when, I did put my message out in front of Chandler, it was, holy shit, Jeff's pictured me something, he's invited me to something to come check it out. Like Jeff has always said no to me because he's myopic in his focus, but see now that got his attention. And it just took 18 months or 12, I think it was 12 months for us to be able to connect the dots. You know, another conversation I've had with Mike Costola. You know, Mike Costola is, one of the top global recruiters for Amari. He's also one of the top trainers for attractionmarketing.com with Fernie Sabalis. Now, I've formed a relationship with Mike, and yet now he's coming onto Shopley with his product because of that relationship. So, Zach, yes, we need to see some instant results. Yes, we need to see some fruit from this, to help pay the bills and help us to keep us re-engaged and all that sort of thing, yada, yada, yada. But I know that the reason that I've got, 86 people jumping on this straight away, what is it now? 17 personals upgrade with 6 follow-ups thinking about this is because I've been nurturing those relationships for 6, 12, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. So it's been building that community. So like, I remember my very first early days, only even 18 months ago, like Zach, that's probably like 18 months, 2 years ago, I was in a very similar position to what you are now, Zach. The only difference between my story and your story is the prior background of experience in e-commerce and digital marketing to sort of lead me where I am today. But like Jeff Ross in the network marketing world 2 years ago was a nobody. Nobody knew of me. I've been very consistent, showing up daily, following my daily method of operation, just, building relationships, building connections, and putting out the right content, put out in front of the right people to speak to the right people's heart. And now, 2 years into it, I can get onto a launch like this and capitalize on it, and build on it from there. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is this is not an overnight success story by any means. And it's just the number one here, part of the struggle, the challenge that people don't realize is there's the number one asset is our community, is our relationships. And it's about building those and building those and building those in a professional manner, in a relationship manner. And this is why I say fall in love with the process, not the results, right? If you just continue to do what you're doing, Zach, your next 6 months, 12 months is going to be a completely different story to what it is now. So you're doing all the right things, man.
Okay.
So thanks, Zach. Thank you very much for everybody for introducing themselves. We're going to shift gears. I see Cheryl, you've just come on late to the call. Well, welcome to the team call. We're going to be hosting these calls Friday, 10 a.m. And I realize I only put an hour for site today. I'm happy to go another half an hour. We probably will need to reschedule. I'll need to reschedule these for next week for probably 90 minutes, just because of the timing. And also we just wanted to give people the space this time around to, do their introductions. Normally the share is a lot shorter. I am really, really present that people want the training around inviting. So I'm going to shift gears into that now. And we could do other introductions and all that sort of thing for those of you who do get the share next week, and we could continue that conversation. So just going to share my screen. All right, let me share my screen. What's going on here? Share. You guys will see my screen okay? Where did you guys go? I've lost you guys. Hang on. I got the chat there. I can see chat. Can you guys see my screen okay? Zach says he needs to go to work now. Cool, man. Thank you for joining us. Can someone just put the chat there? Say awesome. Thank you, Joanne. I can't see the camera for some reason where you guys went. I can see my screen. Okay. All right, let's go. So I'm going to give you 2 scripts. This script here was the very first script that I personally used to reach out to my warm circle of influence. People who, I already have a connection with, like Zach and Chandler and Craig and all of that sort of thing, right? So this is, you can go ahead and reword this, of course, to make it sound like you. And run it. A good tip to do it is just run it through ChatGPT, copy and paste it, run it in, and just say, "Hey, ChatGPT, make this sound like me." If you've been using it for a while, if not, it's your first time, just say, "Hey, ChatGPT, I want you to make this sound a little bit more human, a bit more bland, a little bit more, take away the Aussie slang or whatever it is that you got to correct it to." But this is the message I said to Chandler and Zach and Craig and my warm circle of influence, people who I've already got a relationship with, people I've already got rapport with, people I've already got a connection with. And it was basically, got something special I'm sharing with my inner circle. I've just scored a personal invite to this opportunity. You know that I'm busy, blah, 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 right? I like to use a bit of Aussie humor in here, but that's my branding. but crikey, this one's got potential written all over it. You know, our MLM scene needs a fresh coat of paint, and it's mob, you know, this mob gets it. They're launching a decentralized e-commerce platform that's creating more buzz than a beehive in summer. If you're keen, I could shoot you some more information. Would you be open for a squiz to see if it's your cup of tea? I wouldn't be bringing this to you if I didn't think it was another distraction. I'm only sharing this with a handful of mates to give them first dibs. No worries if it's not your thing. You can tell me to rack off and we'll still be mates. But what do you reckon? You want to know more? So what I'm doing here is I'm piquing curiosity. You know, I've already got a relationship with them. So, you know, I don't need to focus on that. That's already established. And then I'm putting the right message in front of the right people, right? Let's see, there's keywords here. Decentralized e-commerce. I'm acknowledging that they're all busy and this is not another bright, shiny object. I'm acknowledging that I'm not one to jump on bright, shiny objects. I coach people to be myopic in their focus. So I'm establishing that. I'm also taking the pressure away. You know, like I'm not saying that this is something you need to go. I'm saying, hey, no, it's not your thing. Tell me to rack off. We can still be mates. And I'm leading with a bit of personality. I'm leading with a bit of humor. I'm leading with confidence. I'm leading with posture. I'm leading with passion. You know, these are some of the key things that I've had to adapt. As you know, as a skill, you can master them. Great thing about AI is we can put these prompts into AI and we can help it to prompt it a message in that style. You know, because people buy confidence, they buy passion, they buy posture, right? So I'm leading with that. Now I only respond to those people who respond one way or another. They give me crickets with this message. That's cool. I'll leave it for now. I'll follow up with them later. You know, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, 6 months down the road, whatever it is, right? I'm not going to not follow up with them. You know, the fortune is in the follow up, but I'm going to go through, you know, say 100 people, and then I'm going to go work with those people who respond. You know, I find with my circle of influence, because it's pretty warm, it's pretty nurtured, I set this to 100 people, I got 30 people jump on right away. Now, if you're not nurturing and you're starting again, or you've burnt your audience, you know, and you're learning how to not, so you go through that whole pitch and thing, you know, like I know Zach and Chandler, like when I first started this 3 years ago, like everybody saw Jeff Ross coming from a mile away. So the solution to that is go find new people. You know, don't try and work with an audience that's already sort of, you know, got their rose-colored glasses on and already see you one way. Go find new blood. Go find new people. That is probably my best coaching for anybody that's struggling to work with a circle of influence that's sort of eventually sort of, you know, not being burnt, but burned and churned. You know, they've seen you pitch this thing. They've seen you pitch that thing. They've seen you pitch this thing. Guys, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've pitched a lot of different things, right? So I get that. The solution to my problem in that space was go find new people and build my new circle of influence. What you'll find, though, is those people in your inner circle who are your friends and family and all that sort of thing, they will come on board once they see you having success. That's what's happening for me right now, 3 years into my journey. I've got my friends and family and, you know, what I thought were close contacts, you know, 3-4 years ago, all coming back around now because they've seen how tenacious and persistent, and they're seeing my results. Now they're wanting to have a piece of the pie, right? There's people fall into different circles of categories, you know, early pioneers, early adopters, wait for the mainstreamers, late adopters, right? That's cool. You just got to understand not everybody's a pioneer, not everybody's an early adopter. So we need to give them that space and grace. Now, if they reply, cool, you know, thanks, champion. Here's some information. See if it's a good fit for you. You know, taking the pressure off again, using the keywords, decentralized commerce, backed by billionaire leadership. So I'm reinforcing why I think this is really, really awesome. Disrupting. Here's the link. Oh, this is a whisper campaign for leaders and influencers only. You know, like, it doesn't matter if they're not a leader or an influencer. You know, you want to make them feel special. That's the way you see them. They might not be yet, right? The key word is yet. Share the YouTube video. That's that one there. I've got to repurpose that one because I actually haven't shared this message for a while. I'm going to go back through and start sharing it again because I'm going to go to my second, you know, the third circle of influence, the ripple effect, right? So I'll reword it to speak to where people are on their journey. So when asking this question, pop into the group chat with your sponsor, do the edification if you need to. Now, I'm going to take that away because that's what I started with. And, Kevin and Aaron are probably getting a little bit carried away, and I'm bombarding and clogging up their chats now. I think I've got them in over probably 120 group chats. So I need to pull back on that and only put them in group chats with people who are qualified and ready to rock and roll. Like they're like this close, like they're 90% the way. So I'm going to pivot and adjust that. I realize I just need to update that. So they're just putting that premise in space. Only put your sponsor into a group chat once they're qualified and they're ready to go, right? Because we've got when I started doing this, I didn't have all of these tools and resources. I only had Kevin and Aaron and Travis, right? So now that we do, don't be a tool, use the tools. The number one tool that you can use is the right video for people where they're at. They want to talk about comp plan, share this video with them. They're asking questions, share this with them if they haven't seen it yet. They're still asking questions, cool. Put them into a 3-way group chat or a 3-way call, right? So there's a process to it, and I'll go through that later. But coming back to this, so this one here with the warm circle, follow up. Now, so you've sent them the video. Okay, now it's time to follow up. Ask them, is there any questions? Read the typed out response. Nothing to pay today. Doors open. I'll have to readjust that, of course. Today we get positioned. Are you in? That's my follow-up question. Here's the latest overview if you need it. Follow up. Cool. When they're ready to join, they've gone through the process. I'm excited to Caffeinated Care Group because I've just got my next 10 invites. We have over, I need to adjust that number as well. Once again, guys, I did this early August when I first started. I'm going to reword this and I'll share it with you after this training. We need your full name, legal, have you invite to join. Away we go, right? Now, this is probably my most current script as well. Now, this script is for a cold audience, so like you need to build that relationship. So Zach, talking to you for a second, champion, pivot and adjust, do the 100 test, like go send that, that sort of warmer script to your inner circle versus, if they're a colder circle, you still got to build rapport with them, use this type of script. So I'm giving you a warm and a cold one. This one here, look, guys, don't expect, like Zach's sort of sharing with what he's saying, don't expect everybody to go through this money funnel, right? The 7 steps within 24 hours. Like our job here is to meet people where they're at. Step 1, we'll move on. You only move on to step 2 if they're ready to move forward. Only move on to step 3 if they're ready to move forward. Like there's little follow-up cues that we can put in there, but I only move forward if they're ready to move forward. If not, well, then I'll put my content up. My content will speak to their heart, re-engage them, pick them up where they left the conversation. That could happen 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 10 years down the road. Yeah. So it is what it is. So one of my first goals here is to build that human to human connection. So I will go and start a connection. What if, and obviously I'm targeting people who want to make money online. So I'm asking very specific questions to that audience. You can see here. So what had first attracted you to digital entrepreneurship? Cool. That's interesting. It's always great to connect with fellow digital innovators. What's been the best success in the online world so far? Get them to speak to that. Then I go qualify an invite. By the way, what aspect of digital entrepreneurship do you find most passionate about? So I'm trying to find what they love about it. I'm looking for points that we can connect, relate, and resonate with. And I don't need to, be a robot and just ask these questions, answer, be fluid, be natural. These are just points and suggested questions to help you to get started with the conversation. After they respond, connect, relate. Yeah, me too. That's fascinating. If you could solve one challenge in your online business now, what would that be? You can see I'm qualifying them, right? Once I've got in front of the right person, I can see that Shopley's going to be a good fit. Now I'm going to go towards the invite. So you can see I've looked for their goal, I've looked for their pain, I've looked for their challenge, and I'm going to fill in the blanks. That's a great goal. The online world really does open up so many possibilities for freedom and flexibility. I've recently come across something that's quite a buzz in the digital space. It's a platform that caters for vendors, social influencers, network marketers, affiliate marketers alike. If I could show you a way to potentially overcome your pain and move closer to your goal, while being a part of a revolutionary e-commerce platform that has not only disrupted the game, but I'd go as far as saying what could be saved the game too. Would you be open to learning more? That question, right? If you ask that, if I could X, Y, Z, would you be open to X, Y, Z? Is a very powerful question. I've split tested that question probably 20,000 times over the last couple of years. That question alone will make you $1 million, if not more, when you put it in front of the right people. Yeah. So then step 3, don't be a tool, share a tool. So like put in the right video link that you think is the right fit for them, whether it be the 3-minute sizzle, whether it be the more detailed overview, you discern that. Well, we'll do some more training on that as well. But here's the tool, share it, go click on it. Step 4, follow up. A lot of people get to all the step 3, do all the hard work, and then don't follow up because they don't want to be annoying. They don't follow up because they don't want to be pestering. They don't want to follow up because they don't want to offend someone. Guys, get out of your own way. Who cares what people think, right? Be responsible to, not responsible for. People, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. And follow up. Like I'm not following up in an annoying, negative, pestering way. I'm just, hey, what did you like best about this decentralized business opportunity, or e-commerce platform, or how it might help with right? Personalized. Because I'm keeping it personal. That's a more of a respectful way of following up. So follow up, answer the questions, cool. Great. That feels great. I felt the same way. Wonderful. I'm so excited for you to join. Let's get you positioned straight away. Here's what you need to do next. One thing I could probably put in there is, that's great. I felt the same way. Do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started? Like sort of ask a soft close question just to make sure that you're answering all their questions, right? Step 6, send the invite process. Now, I know some of you have sent the invite and then you got crickets, 24 hours, it's expired and they haven't accepted the invite. Cool. I've been there, done that too. Like I probably could have over 150 invites if people had accepted the invite when I sent them. So I've tried to reword this part here to create that urgency around that these need to be, time sensitive. And I can't just realize a spelling mistake there. And here, and these are, time sensitive must be accepted within 24 hours. So I'm pre-framing that right from the get-go. I just copy and paste the link here in the chat that you get from the invite process. And then I put my name, Jeff, whatever, right? So I give them a very simple handheld process. 1, 2, 3. Let me know when it's done. 12, cool. Now we get them into the process, right? Welcome in. Let's get the next steps. Congratulations. Joined our Telegram chat. Joined the Facebook group. Here's the link tree with all the resources. Let's get going. Right. So I'm going to give you those 2 scripts. I'll give them into the Facebook group chat there later on. So yeah, there you go, guys. There's some sort of a cold audience and a warm audience script that I'm personally using to invite people. And then you just want to get into massive follow-up. Those who are in the process, like they're invited in, they've got their time step positioning sorted out. Now it's up to us to just follow up with them. And I just follow up with them in a style that, here's what's happening now. Here's a story now. Oh, did you see this update? Did you see this new update? Oh, by the way, guys, we've got 5 days left to go to take advantage of your time step positioning. Do you have any questions, or are you in? Do you have any questions, or are you in? Do you have any questions, or are you in? You got to ask them where they're at with it all. Answer their questions. If they start firing questions, you can't handle them, bring them to your sponsor, put them in a 3-way group chat, do the introduction. We'll do on our next team meeting, we'll do the power of edification and setting up a 3-way call, and we'll go through that as well. In the meantime, I've got a couple of quick coach videos that I've got from Dream Trips. They would be a perfect fit for this conversation. You just need to be aware of that they're designed to speak to the Dream Trips team. So just take that out of the conversation and just realize that we're talking here about the power edification, the power of the 3-way call, just that structure. I'm going to duplicate these quick coaching videos and put them up on my YouTube channel to speak directly to our Shopley audience, our team. But I'm just giving you what I have at the moment before I go recreate them all to be on brand. So I just want to give you that premise. All right, guys, let's just go quickly around the room and wrap up this conversation. For those who want to share, a sort of 20-second wrap up. One word, how are you feeling after today's call? and what's been your key highlight lesson from today's meeting? So Joanne, over to you. Joanne, so not Joe Sweetie, the other Joanne. Sorry, I'm sorry, I forgot your last name.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite empowered after today's training. Yeah, I just love what you have got there to share with everybody, and I'm pretty excited.
Brilliant. What's been your key lesson from today's conversation?
Just the invites, yeah, it's been quite an eye-opener as to how to approach prospective people to join the group. So
Brilliant.
pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, go out there and crush it. Go and, put out your number, whatever that is, 3 invites, 5 invites, 10 invites a day. And it's just start there, right? Just start with inviting people into this process, get their time and date stamp positioning, and then we'll build it out as we go and follow up as we go. But that's probably the best place any of us can start. Like I'm going to leverage this last 5 days of this promotion by reaching out to new people. I've got 6 people in follow up looking to get their money, whatever reasons it is. But out of the other 86, the rest of them that haven't come on board, I'm pretty exhausted that opportunity to follow them up anymore. So like there does become a point where it does start becoming, instead of relentless and piss off Jeff types of conversation. So I'm going to leave them now. They're going to just basically miss the boat, and that's cool. I've given them every opportunity. I've probably followed up with it 20, 30 times now. That's their choice, right? They're obviously not early adopters or pioneers. That's cool. They'll come back around, respect that decision, bless and release, move on. I'm going to go find new people now.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Sharon, how are you feeling? What's your one word from today's meeting? And what's been your key light bulb aha moment?
I don't know. I'm excited, but I've still got lots to learn and wrap my head around it. But yeah, I'm excited.
Brilliant.
About it all. Yeah.
Cool. Well, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And Nicole's just said in the background, love it. Thanks, Jeff. Had to take some phone calls for work. The pointy end, that's cool. Look, this has been recorded. I'll get you the replay, but super excited for this space. Nicole, absolute pleasure to have you on board, champion. Really looking forward to working with this. Let's go rock and roll. Nicole's word, excited. Janet, just got my acceptance from, woohoo! Awesome. Well, let's bring you out, Janet. What's been your one word? How are you feeling? And what's been your key lesson?
Oh yeah, Jeff, it's nice to really feel a team that has your back. That's really, yeah, just want to acknowledge you and appreciate you. Yeah, it's great to just have some lingo around the invite process. Just to hear how other people approach it, and then I can put my little finesse on it. And yeah,
it's exactly it, right? Personalize it, make it your own. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, that's me.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for sharing. I love it that we've got everybody in between. People are just starting out to seasoned professionals, and yeah, let's rock and roll. Joanne, see, I've never received any emails from Shopley. Are you talking about your upgrade email from that side of things? Yeah. Neither did I. This is the joys and the frustration with, something brand new and technical like this and whatnot. We just got to, learn to forgive, give grace and patience. And reality is, if you can log into your make sure that you can log into your back office at my.shopley.com. You're all good to go, rock and roll. I'm sure that they'll send out emails later on if we need them. Reach out to the Shopley beta test if you need to, the beta test at shopley.com. If you do need it for whatever reason, and I'm sure they'll send it through to you. Cool. Emma, what's your one word? How are you feeling? And what's been your key light bulb moment?
Excited. I think the same as it's going to be a common word. My light bulb moment is the fact that there's a process and that there's some language, and using keywords in my reach out messages is just going to be good. And that if they're crickets, well, that's okay. I've just got to be I just share it. I can't be responsible for them. So and Yeah, I think my understanding is that we've got to do this by the 10th. So really, we haven't got the time to be that focused on the outcome. Because
No, look, if you want to leverage this launch, then yes. I'm playing the long-term game here, and I use launches to create urgency and FOMO, right? And as soon as our launch is over, there'll be a new thing. It'll probably be focused more on vendors. And then I'm sure there'll be a new promotion on that. And there'll be, we go focus on vendors. Then there'll be a new promotion that's focused on affiliates and customers, right? So we go, this is the thing about creating a personal brand. Create a personal brand because that's something that you 100% control in this space. But we leverage the corporate promotions like this to create massive FOMO and urgency. So, yeah. It's all about just being super intentional and taking massive action. Yeah.
And after the 10th, these invites expire, and then do we get some more?
Yeah. So I believe now, obviously, a lot of the information that I share is you got the disclaimer is I'm only sharing what I know, probably a couple of weeks ahead of you. My understanding is the whole invite process will stay because it's been so successful. There's 120,000 global invites that have gone out in the last 4 weeks. What will happen after the 10th is the whole invite process that'll still stay the same, but instead of up until the 10th with a time date positioning to take advantage of that, they'll have 5 days. So it'll go long-term evergreen model. The whole invite process will stay the same, but they won't have a cutoff date. They'll just have 5 days from when they accepted their invite. That's my understanding. And I can see Joe's nodding her head there. So I must be on the same page. So cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, Emma, for sharing. Joe, let's go to you. Oh, sorry, Emma, where you go?
Just one question. Where can we find the list of countries? Does it make a difference where people are in the world for sharing these invites?
So you're asking where can we find the countries to, for people to reach out? Can
you share the invites with somebody in a different country? That's what, or does it have to be in this list?
I've yet to find a country where I've had a challenge.
Right.
All right. I've yet to find a country where I've had a challenge that hasn't been a place yet. But to answer your question, let me just log in there quickly to the invite system. I'll show you. So
I did hear Nick say the other day, Jeff, that just send it.
Yeah. Look, we're open up to 150 countries worldwide straight away from day one. And look, if it's a country that we can do, they'll turn it on if it's not already on. I know very early in, like I'm been a month into this now, week 1 into it, they didn't have Nigeria open. We asked them if they could open it. They switched it on. It was open. So I know that we can have that conversation. But to answer your question, Emma, the best way is to go here, send invite, and pretty much any country here that's listed is available.
Okay. And by available, that means they can get the products from Shoply or they can join this experience.
Both. So essentially there's going to be some products on the platform that won't be able to get to ship to some countries, right? But that's more on the vendor side of things than it is Shoply side of things. Shoply has the capability right now with all of their licensing, with all of their warehousing, with everything that they've got with their infrastructure to be open in 150 countries around the world. So those countries that are listed on that phone call in the invite process essentially is one of those open countries.
Okay.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean when we, Amazon started out of a garage. Amazon only started with America. Then they went country by country and country. Guys, we're starting with $1 billion owner back behind us with, 4 warehouses, major infrastructure, 150 countries from day dot. Like this sort of tech lift has never been done before in any space. Like this is huge. This is why it's a disruptor.
Okay. Now I'm even more excited. Thank you.
I love it when the light bulb gets brighter. it's like the notch has gone from a 3 to now to a 7 in the brightness. I love it. Cool. Joe, what's your one word? What are you most excited? So your one word, how you're feeling, and what's been your key light bulb moment?
I got 2 words. Do more.
Love it.
It's working. I just got to do more.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Some will, some won't. Who's waiting? I was nodding before because, Emma, that was one of my questions with the date stamp. So thank you for asking that. I've just loved connecting today, seeing who's in this and seeing the team.
Yeah. And look, this is probably only, I reckon, a quarter of what the team is at the moment.
Yep.
So, yeah, love it. Thank you. And guys, to do me a favor, because the more people that we can get on these calls, yes, we'll have to have our answers a lot shorter and more succinct and whatnot. And I might have to start a second call. That'll be a good challenge to have. I don't mind having that challenge. But let's all share, in the team chat, like one key thing that you got out of these calls to encourage those who weren't on this call to come to the next one. Because I know this is probably the most powerful space that we can create with our team here. So let's get as many people of our team on this call as we can. Cool. Who have I not had opportunity to share? So, if your camera's off, all good. You're busy in the background, too easy. Turn your camera on if you want to come out and share your one word and your one lesson. Otherwise, we will wrap up. Going once. Going twice. Craig says clarity. Thanks, champion. Appreciate you. And Craig, make sure we get that one-on-one set up, champ. I just sent you my calendar link before, so let's get that set up as well. Brilliant. All right, guys. Well, let's call it a wrap. So my one word is super pumped. Super pumped. Yeah, super pumped. And, just a quick sort of branding lesson here around this. I love it. Most of us have all said excited, right? And I hear that word. But us Aussies, I think of Big Kev from the 90s. I'm excited. He sold cleaning products of all things. I took that and Steve Irwin's, crikeys, Terry, would you look at this marvelous specimen? I took those two key things. I ran them through ChatGPT and I said, look, I want you to help me come up with my own war cry, my own catchphrase on how excited that I am just for my own personal branding. And this is how the caffeinated kangaroo was born. And it come up with a few different sayings. One of them was, I'm so pumped up as a platypus at a pool party. Or what was the other one is I can't remember the adjective now, but it was something along the lines of, I was excited as a Tasmanian devil in a tinny. Just think of Tassie devil in a tinny. Like for us Aussies here, a titty is overseas guys, us Aussies, a titty is an aluminium small boat. So, tin boat. And the other one come up with is, I'm as excited as a caffeinated kangaroo jumping on a trampoline. So I ran with that. So I'm as excited as a caffeinated kangaroo on a trampoline, but reality is it doesn't probably do it justice. Like, I'm that excited. I'm bouncing to the moon on this and so grateful for this community. It's just reinforced that these calls for me are really powerful and really sorely needed. And this is something that is quite unique in the network marketing game at the moment. I don't see anyone else really doing this style of intimate Basecamp mastermind coaching calls. There are a few, but not as many as needed to be. And so it's just reinforced me that this is what is sorely needed. So we are going to host these calls every Friday morning, Friday morning, 10 a.m. Sydney time. Now, I understand that time is not ideal for everybody. That's cool. Grab the replays. As the team grows, I will look at doing a second time as needed. But for right now, my schedule allows Friday, 10 a.m. Sydney time, every Friday, same place, same time. We'll be here. And let's go build this in a big way. Let's go do this together. Let's go, create some amazing stories from this space. We're on the right time and the right place with an amazing product, with an amazing opportunity, with an amazing leadership team. Let's go. See you on the next call. Bye for now.